bad things well said.
Welcome back to, well, what is probably the deepest and most disappointing hour of your week.
I think that's fair.
It is Saturday, December 6th, 2025. And outside, the atmosphere is serving up this delightful blend of gray, damp, and just soul-crushing mildness.
It really is. It's meteorological self-loathing.
It's the kind of weather that makes you question why you ever left bed.
Yeah.
And, it's the exact reflection of our national mood this week.
Oh, completely. And the news cycle, it just perfectly matches that mood. We're here not to document some abstract failure of government because, let's be honest, failure implies a lack of competence.
Right, and we already know what we're dealing with there.
Exactly. We're here to talk about something far more insidious, systemic pettiness.
Ah, yes. We've officially moved beyond generalized chaos, beyond state incompetence, and we've landed squarely in the realm of what? Governance by personal whim.
It's where high state power meets low, deeply personal grudges. I mean, we spent 7 days watching high officials confirm that Iceland is, at its heart, just a magnificent, dysfunctional family reunion.
Where nobody is allowed to forget an insult.
Especially if you have the power to enact revenge.
And we have some magnificent grievances to unpack, starting with the administrative absurdity that we are, I think, formally calling Shoegate.
The shoe must go on. It has to be. We have this staggering story of a respected Reykjavik school principal who lost his job.
Or was forced into this bizarre reappointment process.
Right. Not because of a failure of policy, but because a cabinet minister was raging over her grandchild's lost sneakers.
You can't make this up. The Ministry of Education now operating a lost and found policy that involves career termination.
And then we have the ongoing tragedy in the East Fjords. The government's new transport plan, which is suffering from just the worst case of tunnel vision.
Or lack thereof. They decided to shelve the vital, life-saving Fyrar Heidargum. And the universe, with this cruel, fatal sense of irony, immediately punctuated that decision with a deadly accident.
On that exact same mountain pass.
On the same day. It's a perfect illustration of the value the government places on human safety versus, the balance sheet.
And speaking of value, or maybe wheat, we have to address our national physique. Get ready for the NORMO 2025 report.
Yes.
It officially confirms that Icelanders are now the heaviest Vikings in the north. We are shedding that fit and hearty stereotype faster than you can open an energy drink.
We'll also look at the grim statistics coming out of Foreldrahus about children as young as 12 using hard narcotics.
A crisis that goes completely unaddressed while the state obsesses over bureaucratic power plays.
And finally, a bizarre culinary update from the East. 2 men who shot, cooked, and then consumed a raven.
Odin's bird of wisdom.
Yeah.
In a week of such spectacular political cannibalism where promises were eaten and careers were consumed, it's only fitting someone literally ate the symbol of national intelligence.
It's all just bad things well said. So, if you value your sanity or your confidence in the Nordic model,
or your ability to just enjoy a peaceful Saturday morning,
we warn you, do not subscribe. It might make you question everything you thought you knew about this beautiful, absurd island. Okay, let's get into the core theme of the week. Using high state power to settle personal scores. We have to start with Arsale Gudmundsson,
the longtime principal of Borgarholtsskóli,
whose tenure was just abruptly terminated when the Ministry of Education and Children refused to renew his contract.
And this is just a textbook example of the Icelandic political farce. I mean, on the surface, it's all dry bureaucracy.
Which is always the safest disguise for malice, right?
Always. The formal fact is that his contract expired. And instead of reappointing him, which has been standard practice for decades, unless there's, documented misconduct,
right,
the position was simply open for new applications.
Yet, and the ministry's official line from Minister Guðmundur Ingi Kristinsson was that this was routine. It's part of extensive changes in high schools.
The new regional service centers, yes.
They claimed this necessitated a fresh mandate in leadership. Nothing personal, you see, just professional systemic reform.
And yet, we have to stress that Arsale was the only principal in the entire country subjected to this sudden process.
That's the first red flag, isn't it?
It's a massive one. You don't overhaul a system by subjecting a single person to a sudden job competition unless that person has a target painted on his back, and he absolutely did.
And the context here is so clear. He wasn't some quiet bureaucrat. He was a highly respected, very vocal critic of those exact ministry reforms.
The bureaucratic bloat, the regional offices.
He argued they just create more unnecessary layers of administration and cost, sucking resources away from the actual classroom.
And in Iceland, constructive criticism of the ruling coalition is often treated as, what, sedition?
Pretty much.
You criticize the ministry's plan, you're criticizing the minister's personal vision, and suddenly you are the one person in the entire school system who has to reprove his worth.
The message is loud and clear. Conformity is job security.
But the detail that elevates this from a petty HR dispute to a national scandal is the petty trigger, the shoe affair.
It's still almost unbelievable that this is a documented reality of our government.
Earlier this year, Minister of Social Affairs Inga Sæland, chair of the People's Party, a major coalition partner, personally called Arcelo.
Not his staff, not a liaison. Her to him.
And the subject of this high-level interministerial communication was her grandchild's lost sneakers at the school.
A cabinet minister using the full weight of her office, the prestige, the subtle intimidation to berate a public servant over lost gym shoes.
It sounds like something from a badly written political satire.
But here we are. It is the ultimate misuse of political capital for a trivial personal grievance.
And when Arcel went public about that phone call, he clearly crossed a line. He went from academic critic to personal target.
And now, he's gone. He used the word heftahugur, revenge, retaliation, to describe the ministry's motive. He wasn't being subtle.
He couldn't afford to be, and the Association of Schoolmasters wasn't subtle either. Their chairman called it Ognarsjorn, threat management.
A chilling message to every public servant in Iceland. If you criticize the ruling party, you serve at the pleasure of the minister's grandmotherly whims.
It's a mechanism to enforce silence. It's not about competence, it's about compliance. If he can be purged over a personal slight, imagine the pressure on a junior civil servant.
The whole meritocratic system, dismantled because of a pair of missing sneakers.
And look at the political maneuvering to clean up this mess. It just screams cover-up.
Right, when it was brought up in Helsinki, the Minister of Education was conveniently hospitalized.
And we do wish him a speedy recovery, but the timing is everything.
It left Prime Minister Kristrún Frostadóttir to play defense for her coalition partner.
And her defense was stunning in its emptiness. She repeated the phrase professional decision 11 times.
Wait, let's just pause on that. 11 times.
11 times, according to the official reports.
Is there any precedent for a prime minister claiming such a strict separation of powers when the accusation is so clearly political?
No, because the moment the claim of Hefthundarhugur is raised, and you respond by repeating professional decision 11 times, your defense fails.
It's an admission that it's the exact opposite.
Exactly. She performed this convenient abdication of leadership, claiming she couldn't intervene in personnel matters while defending the minister who was, allegedly burning down the civil service.
The ultimate irony is that this just confirms what everyone suspects. We're not a rule of law state, we're a rule of cousin state.
Where the entire system can be dismantled because a pair of sneakers went missing, the social contract is now a customer service guarantee for the political class.
When sneakers can end a career, you know you're living in a very small, very easily offended nation.
And the pettiness doesn't stop with people. It extends to vital infrastructure, or the lack of it.
Let's move to the East Fjords and the Heidi tunnel betrayal.
This is where the cold calculation of a spreadsheet meets the cruelty of geography. For decades, the people of East Fjords have been living on the promise of a tunnel.
The Fjarðarheiðargöng. Through a mountain pass that is, objectively a death trap. Weather-beaten, avalanche-prone, frequently closed.
And it isolates the town that hosts the Norina, our only ferry link to Europe. It's a matter of national importance.
So what did the government's new national transport plan do?
They shelved it, completely deprioritized it. The priorities shifted to other fjords, the Skjærgård and Fljótugöng.
And the rationale was the dreaded socioeconomic analysis.
Of course. They claimed the other tunnels were cheaper, connected labor markets more efficiently, and would give a higher return on investment.
Okay, let's challenge that. What criteria does a socioeconomic analysis prioritize that explicitly discounts human safety on the most dangerous pass in the country?
Well, it prioritizes traffic volume and projected economic impact over risk mitigation for a smaller town. East connectivity is seen as a regional expense, not a national imperative.
So they connect two relatively small towns to each other, but leave our key European gateway, a cul-de-sac in the fjords.
It cuts them off from the ring road The airport, the hospital in Ingolstadir, it's a fundamental disconnect.
The local fury was immediate. The Mulazing Council said they felt Svik betrayed and hopeless.
And they weren't being overly dramatic. And this is where the universe provided the cruelest, most fatal timing imaginable.
The very day the news broke that this life-saving tunnel was shelved.
That same Wednesday, a fatal car accident on that exact pass.
An 87-year-old local resident, John Armand Johnson, was killed.
That tragedy just transforms the entire debate. It's no longer an intellectual argument about fiscal planning.
It's a moral indictment. The spreadsheet says the tunnel is too expensive. The obituary says the delay is lethal. There's no dodging that.
It's the ultimate failure of prioritization. And the way they're funding these other projects involves a bit of fiscal alchemy we need to talk about.
Ah, yes, the infrastructure company. Invita Verlag off.
Exactly. This new state-owned company is basically the government's off-balance sheet lender for infrastructure.
So they're engaging in shadow banking for asphalt. How does that even work legally?
By classifying it as a separate commercial entity that borrows against future toll revenues, so the debt is theoretically serviced by road users, not taxpayers directly.
Which insulates the sovereign balance sheet.
It allows them to claim they're being fiscally responsible while accumulating massive off-budget liabilities. It's a clever accounting trip to build roads they can't afford.
So the state decided the most dangerous pass was too expensive, despite the human cost, and then invented a new form of debt to pay for slightly less important tunnels elsewhere.
Precisely. Masters of creative accounting, dismal failures at basic moral responsibility. And we just committed over 8 million euros to munitions aid for Ukraine.
Which is a stark connection.
When a nation can find 8 million euros instantly for great global optics but can't fund a life-saving domestic tunnel, it confirms our priorities are driven by international performance, not our own citizens.
We're already morally indicted, so let's turn the mirror on ourselves and look at the physical indictment. If the political news confirms our pettiness, the health news confirms our biological dishonesty. Let's talk about the weight of the nation.
The NORMO 2025 report. This one lands like a kilo of butter on the breakfast table. We have officially claimed a dubious honor.
Icelanders are the heaviest nation among the Nordics.
By a lot. 70% of Icelandic adults are classified as overweight or obese. The Nordic average is 56%.
We are winning the wrong kind of championship.
That statistic completely dismantles the active Viking brand we love to sell to the world. We picture ourselves scaling glaciers and doing CrossFit.
But the data says we're THICC THOR.
We are. We're suffering from the paradoxical diet. Yes, we eat plenty of fish, true to our heritage, but the report shows we consume the absolute least fruits, vegetables, and whole grains.
So what replaced those staples? Is this just a sugar problem?
It's a globalization problem. We've embraced convenient, high-calorie, low-nutrient packaged food. We have the heritage diet, but we choose the convenience of an industrialized food supply.
We keep the image of health with our expensive gym memberships, but undermine it daily.
And the sedentary crisis is damning. The report highlights incidental exercise, just, walking or cycling.
Right.
Swedes do about 5 hours a week. Icelanders, we clock in at a miserable 1.9 hours.
That's a staggering contrast. And it's a reflection of failed urban planning as much as personal choice. Reykjavik is built for cars.
We are pathologically allergic to walking. We drive to the store, we drive to the gym to walk on a treadmill, then we drive home. Our infrastructure actively discourages movement.
And what are we fueling this sedentary life with?
The report highlights the caffeine generation. Icelandic children consume the highest amount of sugary foods and, crucially, energy drinks in the Nordics.
The consumption of energy drinks has doubled in the last decade, hasn't it?
Doubled. And these aren't just sugar spikes, they're highly caffeinated stimulants. We're raising a generation that vibrates on caffeine while sitting still.
Or are we seeing any legislative action to curb the sale of these to minors?
Minimal. It falls into that gap between health policy and consumer freedom. We successfully legislated against tobacco and alcohol, but the political will to tackle the energy drink industry is much weaker.
So we celebrate lowering teen smoking, but ignore the fact the void was filled by this new dependency.
The conclusion is inescapable. We sell the world images of CrossFit champions, but the data says we are sugar-addicted office workers driving oversized Land Rovers to the gym.
At least we're lightweight drinkers.
A small mercy. We traded alcohol calories for dessert calories, a slightly less destructive vice, perhaps.
Well, if the adults are getting heavy, the children are getting into heavy trouble.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the crisis of the 12-year-olds.
This is a devastating story, and it's been completely overshadowed by Shoegate and tunnel funding.
The NGO for Eldrahu's Parents House reports an alarming surge in drug access and consumption among children.
And the director noted that 14 children as young as 12 have been caught using narcotics this year alone.
14. That number is staggering for a country this size.
14 children whose lives are already spiraling before puberty. We're talking about potent, new synthetics, high-strength cannabis products.
And how are kids this young even accessing them?
It's almost entirely digital. Dealers use encrypted platforms, social media groups. Kids are exposed to offers through their smartphones.
And the cruel systemic failure is that this surge comes while Eldrahu's itself has been struggling for funding.
For years, they've faced threats of closure due to the lack of a stable state agreement. They operate on a knife edge.
So the state is actively strangling the very organization designed to help solve the problem that's escalating.
If they close, where do these 12-year-olds go? The wait list for official treatment is already months long.
It's maddening. The state is paralyzed by a pair of sneakers while a public health crisis is accelerating unnoticed.
Welcome to the new generation Z-zonked. The state can't afford stability for the people saving its children.
And as the social safety net buckles, our traditional media infrastructure is just taking the weekend off.
The media and telecom squeeze, SIN, which owns Stowe 2, announced it will halt all weekend evening news broadcasts starting December 1st.
After nearly 40 years. The news never sleeps, but it seems Icelandic private TV does.
It means we have an even greater reliance on state-funded RÚ for continuous coverage. A major crisis happens on a Saturday, and the private sector information flow shrinks.
And speaking of shrinking, telecom giant Simon is gifting us a New Year's price increase.
Blaming SIN's rising content costs. Sports fans are going to feel this the hardest. Packages for Stowe 2 Sport are jumping by about 16.7%.
So the consumer is forced to pay significantly more to watch their team lose while receiving less actual news coverage overall.
It's the definition of diminishing returns. We're forced to pay a premium to consume less anxiety-inducing content.
Right, let's pivot from finance and addiction to the truly bizarre and the geopolitical. We have to start with the Raven Eaters.
This is just sublime in its absurdity. 2 men in East Iceland shot, cooked, and ate a raven, a shrapnel.
And then they published a culinary review saying the meat tasted like faint ptarmigan.
This is such a profound cultural taboo. The raven isn't just a bird here, it's a cultural icon. Odin's bird of wisdom, Hugin, and Munin.
Thought and memory. Eating one is just fundamentally aberrant.
An expert called the act lugkurlikt, low-class, unethical. But let's look at the magnificent metaphor here.
In a week of political cannibalism, where the government ate its own principle and its own promises,
It's only fitting that someone literally ate the symbol of wisdom. We are consuming our own mythology.
nothing is sacred anymore. The raven is now just faintly flavored game meat.
A nation consuming its own wisdom, fittingly, while standing guard for NATO.
Which brings us to the high-level praise we received this week. This is the duality we live in. Domestic chaos and international indispensability.
Indeed. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte was in Reykjavik, and he praised Iceland as the eyes and ears of the alliance in the North Atlantic.
We punch above our weight by providing brains and radar, not boots on the ground. This comes right as the UK and Norway have a new pact to patrol the GIUK gap for Russian subs.
And we sit right in the middle of it. We're the strategically invaluable real estate, the keeper of critical surveillance data.
And this just makes the contrast with the tunnel funding even sharper.
We can mobilize 8 million euros for international defense optics instantly, but we can't solve a lethal domestic infrastructure problem.
It's the ultimate defense strategy. Be so strategic that the big guys have to protect you for their own sake.
No military might, but plenty of brains in the room. And a massive credit card when the alliance calls.
And from military strategy to moral tightropes, we turn to the Eurovision crisis. Because if anything can truly tear this country apart, it's the annual pop music contest.
It is the ultimate test of Icelandic cognitive dissonance. The European Broadcasting Union adopted new rules that effectively secure Israel's ongoing participation.
Which forces our national broadcaster, RE, into an impossible zero-sum corner.
They either participate, which risks massive domestic protests from composers, lyricists, the whole artistic community. It's seen as art washing.
Or they withdraw.
Yeah.
And we disappear from the one international cultural event that 98% of the population actually watches.
We lose our primary cultural window to the world. And it's all because of our deep, irrational addiction to glitter, key changes, and wind machines.
The EBU insists the contest is non-political, which is the biggest lie of the week.
By enforcing these rules, they're taking an explicitly political stance. Rover is trapped.
And while we struggle with our existential pop crisis, the local church is attempting a crisis solution of its own.
The church rebrand. Surya Krikshan is attempting a full 21st century glow-up. New website, new monochrome cross logo.
It's the ecclesiastical equivalent of trying to go viral.
Because nothing fills pews like a snazzy new logo, right? They're saying, we haven't changed the millennial message, but we did change the font.
You have to wonder if a minimalist logo and a UX-friendly website can succeed where Fire and Brimstone couldn't.
It's modern marketing for an existential crisis.
Okay, let's wrap up with a look at Icelandic passion, on the court and in the sky. Let's start with the Women's Handball World Championship.
This was a sober, predictable reality check. Our team performed admirably to get through the preliminary round.
But then they hit the main round, Montenegro and Spain.
And yeah, crushing defeats, losing by 9 goals to Montenegro, 7 to Spain. The statistical limits of a small nation became glaringly apparent.
We need to retire the moral victory fatigue narrative.
We really do. We're a nation of 380,000 playing against countries with 50 million. Just qualifying is punching above our weight. The expectation of victory is the problem, not the loss.
But the real drama was on the sideline. Head coach Arnar Pedersen got a red card against Spain for disputing a call.
He completely lost his temper. It's a perfect example of oversized Icelandic passion and sideline fury. We may lack the population base, but we make up for it with pure, concentrated rage.
But if we want true record-breaking performance, we have to highlight the true heroes this week. The Paralympic athletes of the year.
Absolutely. We need to focus on Ingeborg Eid Geirsdottir and Snevar Ern Christensen. Their accomplishments often thrive far from the spotlight, yet they're world-class.
Ingeborg, the shot putter, shattered the 10-meter barrier in her class, setting a new Icelandic record. That's elite.
And then there's Snevar Ern Christensen, the swimmer. He broke an astonishing 33 Icelandic records this year. 33.
And set European and a world record in the 50-meter butterfly.
It's mind-blowing, and these achievements get a fraction of the attention of a coach getting a red card in a loss. It's a welcome reminder of what real excellence looks like.
It's the pure pursuit of excellence divorced from the marketing frenzy.
Exactly.
Finally, let's check in with the ultimate source of Icelandic gaslighting, the weather outlook.
Prepare for a split personality week. The weather is actively trying to maximize your discomfort and orthopedic risk.
The forecast for the south and southwest, for Reykjavik, is deceptively mild and calm early in the week. Up to +7 degrees, maybe some sun.
That is the trap. That early rain and mildness will convert any existing snow into a gray, toxic slush, what we call slab.
And then midweek, the wind shifts violently to the north. The hairdryer from the fridge effect, temperatures plummet.
And that wet slush that was running in the streets on Monday.
It instantly freezes solid. The entire country becomes a jagged, treacherous ice rink, a calculated assault on human dignity.
It's nature's annual reminder that it hates us.
And of course, the predictable aurora tease. Moderate auroral activity is predicted.
But tempered by guaranteed cloud cover. The Northern Lights are a VIP event you can't get into. A perfect cosmic metaphor for the week.
Well, we have truly documented the week of the Great Disconnect.
Indeed. The nation is financially clever inventing shadow banking for asphalt, but morally confused about a pop contest.
We're politically petty, fixated on sneakers, but geopolitically essential as NATO's eyes and ears.
And we're physically ambitious, yet biologically sedentary, running on sugar and caffeine. It's a magnificent, dysfunctional family reunion on a rock.
It is exhausting, but it's never boring. So here's a final thought for you to chew on this dreary Saturday. Since we seem determined to prove the absurdity of governance by personal whim,
And since we're prioritizing international optics over domestic safety,
what truly matters more to the average Icelander right now? Saving face at Eurovision or saving a life on Heidi?
that's a terrible choice. And I suspect the immediate answer involves a highly caffeinated protein shake and a trip to the gym in a large SUV.
We'll leave you to ponder that painful question of national priority. Tune in next week for more bad things well said.
Until then, stay warm, stay cynical, and for heaven's sake, check your grandchild's gym bag for missing footwear.
The voices in this podcast were generated by AI. However, all information, facts, claims, concepts, and the script itself were prepared, editorially reviewed, and are the original work of a human author.
Bad things well said, for the words